the linguistic part of the child.
Yeah.
You're so interested in making them intelligent, like, no, that's not that, it's this.
That's a cat.
But
Can
you've
you
lost
say
the
cat?
sense for
Yeah.
it. So as they go, okay, that's not that, you can see how that would be bedded in. But the wider, like, that's funny how, like, we kind of self-police in that way into this materialistic philosophy. But also, like, how things, like, I've always said this, like, I think Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy and these other things are, like, really strong psychological operations to sort of build up this idea of magic and then cut it down. Once the critical thinking comes in, and then it's like then it's like, I was smart enough to realise this isn't really magic. It never existed in any way. And now I'm smart. And it's like, how old were you when you believed in Santa Claus? How old were you when you learned Santa Claus isn't real? And we kind of then honour this this kind of veil as a sense of intelligence.
It's like science over spirituality in a small way. Like, I think, like, the crazy thing is that we're so, like, brainwashed that, like, as parents, we don't realize, not just us, I mean, like, all parents, it starts, like, in the house where we, like, take away magic from our kids before we even realize what we're doing. And then we reach a certain point and we're like, well, why can't people see what's really there? It's because, like, at every level it's been, like, taken out. And, like, in an intelligent way, these things have become really big. Like how you were saying the other day, like, we were talking about cultures, and you were saying that, like, what does Santa Claus or the Tooth Fairy or the Easter Bunny have to do with those festivals? Nothing. They're just stories that have been, like, made up. And I feel like it's really interesting that, like, not only do we take away the magic, we, like, present them with our own stories, and then they reach, like, 8 or something, and then we're like, actually, that's not real. So we give them, like, the smallest piece of magic. And then when they're, like, a certain age, we're like, that's not real, and we, like, take away the last piece of magic from them, you know. And it's been done to all of us.
It's funny how you mentioned these overlays. Like, I was listening to what you were saying, then I was just, like, trying to remember the thought, like, so it didn't leave me. Like, it's funny how when you compare the overlays, like, the rabbit is the fertility of the pagan worship, and, you know, like, with the Christmas tree as well, it's paganism, it's Christianity over paganism, right? And paganism in truth circles has got this, like, kind of satanic connotation these days because of, like, human sacrifice and stuff like that. But I don't really know enough about it, and I don't want to, like, cast aspersions. I just want to, like, compare the two things. I'm not saying that paganism is, like, magic and it's best. I'm not making a case for that. It's interesting to compare the overlays and the relationship between the two. And like, in terms of like, first you've got the Easter Bunny and the fertility breeding like rabbits, and then you've got Jesus rising from the dead. Well, that's rebirth. It's like it's almost like, as an overlay, it's kind of like, couldn't get a better, like, a more blatant, like, death of that, birth of this kind of idea. But that's old now. It's like we kind of moved, although that's still running in us.
But people still use the term, like, when people, like, become religious, all of a sudden people are like, oh, are you born again? It's like you've taken a rebirth. Like, you can do that kind of rebirth on an everyday basis.
It's like a new, it's like stepping into a new paradigm, like a mental paradigm, or like dropping a veil. Or like just
like becoming more you.
Like entering a new level of consciousness or a new vibration, or however you want to put